Hello everyone. In the previous video, we learnt about the transportation of materials in plants, and today we are going to continuing with the transportation of materials in animals. So, the first of all, we will talk about the unicellular organisms in which one cell performs all the functions of the body. For example, amoeba. So, in these kind of organisms like amoeba, paramecium and bacteria, so the nutrients that reach every part of the cell by the process diffusion. And if we talk about the simple aquatic multicellular organisms such as hydra and jellyfish, the oxygen and nutrients are transported by water that circulates through their body. And now we have transportation in humans. So, human beings have a well developed pickup and delivery system, that is circulatory system. In the circulatory system, the blood delivers food and oxygen to every cell in the body, and it also carries waste away from their every cell in the body. And the circulatory system consists of the blood vessels and the heart. So first of all, let's learn about the blood. Blood is a specialized bodily fluid that flows in blood vessels. And this blood, it transports digestive food, oxygen, liquid waste in the different parts of the body. And in an average healthy adult, the volume of blood is about 1/11 of the body weight. Normally, the volume of blood in an average human adult is between 4 to 5 liters. The blood consists of fluid known as plasma, in which three types of blood cells float. So, what is plasma? Plasma is a liquid part of the blood, and it is yellowish in color and contains about 90% of water. And the three different corpuscles of blood, that means the components of blood, are consisted in the plasma. So let's learn what are the different types of blood cells we have in our body. First one, we have red blood cells or corpuscles. Basically, these are disc-shaped cells. They contain a red-colored protein that is called hemoglobin. It is this pigment that absorbs oxygen and transports it to the cells all over the body. Like if oxygen combines with hemoglobin to form a compound that is called oxyhemoglobin, and when blood reaches cells that need oxygen, hemoglobin breaks down to oxygen and hemoglobin. The oxygen is used by the cells for respiration, and hemoglobin then becomes free to carry more oxygen afterwards. The next one, we have white blood cells. These are slightly larger than the red blood cells, and they do not have a fixed shape. They are less in number than RBCs. Their main job is to fight against the diseases by destroying harmful bacteria and the other foreign materials, and they are able to move on their own. This helps them to pass through the walls of the blood vessels and reach infected parts of the body. So basically, these are the fighters for us. And the last component of blood, we have platelets. They are smaller than red blood cells, and they help the blood to clot whenever there is a wound on the body, and it blocks the flow of blood and prevents blood loss. Now move to the blood vessels. So basically, three types of blood vessels we have: arteries, veins and capillaries. So first of all, arteries. These are the vessels that carry oxygenated blood away from the heart. As the heart pumps the blood into the arteries, the blood flows rapidly at a high pressure. And that is why these arteries have a thick elastic walls. The next we have capillaries. So these arteries, they just branch into the smaller and the smaller arteries, and then finally into capillaries. These capillaries are thinnest blood vessels, about as thick as a strand of your hair, and they have very thin walls through which oxygen, digested food, carbon dioxide and other waste products are exchanged between the blood and the surrounding cells. The last one we have veins. The capillaries join up to form the veins. Veins carry deoxygenated blood, that means carbon dioxide rich blood, and this blood comes back to the heart. Veins have thin walls. They have valves also which allow the blood to flow only towards the heart.